Hello and welcome back to a new podcast. I'm Fettouhi and let's talk games. Well, it's only been a week since the last one, and a lot of things has happened. Um, as of release wise, well, not a lot of things has come out. At least not that I have in mind of games that I would be interested in. Probably you pick something up, but well, today is December 18th, and I want to give a plug out to, of course, the speed gamers who are about 4 hours right now away from doing their Pokemon marathon. The not yearly, but it is the second year in a row. Uh, that they're doing it for Allie's House, which is a cancer foundation to help kids that have cancer. I think one famous guy who actually is one of the not I don't know if he's a founder, but he's at least involved in it. It's the country musician Toby Keith. And they're trying to catch all the Pokemons in 3 days. It's a 72-hour marathon. They already, 4 hours before the marathon starts, they already got in about almost $300 in. And if you like to go to their website, that is the speedgamers.com. You can go there and you can watch the marathon if you listen to this before the marathon is over. And you can click on the chip-in widget, which is right next to the feeds, and donate. You don't need anything else but a credit card or a debit card, and you don't need to sign up to PayPal. Anyways, let's get back to the show, which is about games. I've got some interesting things to talk about today. For instance, I finally got to play Demon Souls, which is a PS3 exclusive. As you all know, if you listened to the last episode, I bought it. I got it actually the same day that I recorded the podcast, the last episode, and it's the Asian version, so it's the original difficulty. And I must say, I'm glad I bought that game, the Asian version, because the whole problem is that game is really hard. I haven't gotten far in it. It's really difficult. The game is about you playing a character. It's an RPG game. It's a third-person view. You look at the character from behind, and you can, of course, with the right thumbstick, look around with your camera around the character, and of course you move the character with the left one. It is not typical RPG as you would know it, like for instance a Japanese RPG. But if a RPG, like for instance, if you compare it to the other RPG that is out there, is of course what's called Dragon Age. It's not a turn-based or top view. You are doing this in real time, and it's of course a fantasy RPG. So you play, for instance, you go in, make a character, and the character is pretty much not specified. You just pick a class that you want, but it's not a class. It's just that's the gear you start with, because you can pretty much level up or do stuff or pick abilities later on that you may be able to cast spells with a knight or a fighter, and go in armor and stuff like that, and other way around. So you pretty much customize this, but you pick a class, you pick a name, you customize your character, and you can really customize from eyes, face, and all that good stuff. And you start out the game, and the tutorial is, well, it's not long, but it's it's a little bit different. The tutorial it doesn't give you a lot of information, but you play the game like it's almost playing like a shooter. So the upper bumpers R1 and L1 are R1 is a normal slash, for instance, with your sword, and the L1 is your shield. You block with it, and the triggers. The R2 and L2 R2 would be a stab, that's a heavy attack, and L2 would be a parry block with your shield. So you use that, and with your with, for instance, the triangle, you switch stances. You can switch stances actually from going to shield to actually going to using your sword with, for instance, two hands. That will of course lower your defense, but you get more attack power and all that good stuff. And you find herbs. You actually start with herbs. You find crossbows and all that good stuff through the game. So the game is pretty much about you being a hero, and the land is infested with fog. And that fog you figure out that it's come from an old nemesis that has been in slumber, has been released again, and is trying to take over the world. And it's since it's called Demon Souls, the demons live on souls and want to eat your souls, so it's soul harvesting demon. And your task is, of course, to rid the land of all that. And the whole tutorial is pretty much normally you know how to, or you figure out how to fight, you figure out how to block, you figure out what to do, and you learn how to use your abilities, or you learn how to, for instance, if you parry at a specific time, you can actually get a instant time feature where you stab one and actually kill them instantly with one slash, which is pretty effective. And what happens is how you gain XP. You gather souls for everything you kill. You get X amount of souls, which the monster probably have killed before you. And those souls you can spend on upgrading your abilities, your vitality, your endurance, your strength, and all that. And through that you level up. And of course you can. And it's not XP in that wise. It's souls. It's really based just souls. But you can also use those souls to buy new weapons, upgrade your equipment. So it's the same amount. It's the same currency that you use to upgrade and spend on your abilities. Upgrade your equipment and spend on your abilities, which pretty much limits it down to you really have to be wise to choose right, because if it's spent, you just have to go out and grind something more. But anyways, it's not easy, and you will play a level over and over again, or a part of it, because this is where it gets frustrating. Okay. The tutorial is pretty much based. You go through like a normal tutorial. You come to an end, and you fight a boss. The thing about this is you're alive at that point. That's the whole thing about your demon souls and all that. Is that the problem is that you will die and die at that point because you have to. Another thing that happens is that your soul, you die and your soul gets captured. This is this world called the Nexus. And the problem is when you die is that your health will be cut in half. So you run around as a soul and try to get back your life. And there are two ways to do this. I've only experienced one way, and that's doing the missions or the quest in general. Like, for instance, after you die, you're in the Nexus, you actually finally find out you can buy stuff, upgrade stuff, use your souls for it, and then you can go, and then you meet this witch, is pretty much the keeper of the Nexus or some things. But anyways, after that, you go out again in a new area, which pretty much opens a bit the game, and through that you fight enemies, and through that, and the last part of it, you meet a boss, and when you kill that boss, which is pretty much a demon, you regain your life back. So that's how you get your life back, and from that you see your health bar actually have access to the full health bar. In this progress, getting your life back, you can die countless of times, and you will. Trust me, I just started a new character again, and I died 1,000 times at least. It's a hard game because of the slashing and blocking are separate, so it's like you actually need to really figure out how to time things, and if you screw up your timing when the opponent is of course actually throwing in a strike, it could actually kill you, or at least you get a lot of damage. And some foes are stronger than others, of course we know of. And the whole idea behind this is, of course, making the game longer with all this difficulty, but it's fun, but sometimes a little bit frustrating. Where was I? Let's get back to the whole idea of you dying and all that stuff. When you die, a bloodstain will be left, and there's a lot of other bloodstains because this game is actually an online game. Gotta say, this is RPG online game, but it's like Diablo. So you get online access, the servers are up, your character gets uploaded, all that good stuff, and you play. And you will see other people play, but only through soul echoes or echoes themselves. So you see sometimes when you're in an area and another character, another player is actually in the area where you at, you will see him run around like an echo, a soul echo or a soul running around, doing stuff. Only fairly. It's not that he's right there, but just barely. And that's one thing of knowing a character's actually at the same place. The other thing is that a character has been here, and that's bloodstains. And when you die, you leave a bloodstain. You can actually go and access the bloodstains and see the last moments before the character has died. This will tell you, of course, what you shouldn't do. And of course, other things are that you can leave messages for people in the ground, which are pretty much 5-letter runes that you see on the ground. You can go accident and it will tell you something. For instance, go left or beware of a trap ahead and stuff like that. And of course, some people are jerks and leave messages that may actually kill you. So be wary of that. But it's easier to figure out when people are joking. Anyways, the whole idea, if you die in the process of going through a maze and getting to the end of the boss, where you may regain your life in the first episode of this battle, you leave a bloodstain. You actually get teleported back to the start of the level, have to go through the whole thing again, and all the enemies have respawned, and they will do it instantly. If you die 5 minutes in or 2 seconds in, you will respawn, and if you killed at least one, he will be back. It's not something, it's timer, it's just if you die, it will all be reset. So you have to battle through everything. And the really bad thing about this is that your corpse, you will have all your items and all that. All the items you found, the problem is all your souls will be gone. So that's a really bummer. So, and if you die again before you get back to your bloodstain and touch it, you actually regain back your souls. That bloodstain will be lost, and all your souls there will be lost forever. So you actually have to go can have one bloodstain. You don't have separate bloodstains that you can go pick up to collect all your souls. So that's pretty tough. I actually lost a lot of souls that way. Anyways, that's pretty much it. And there are ways. I actually beat the first boss, and it's really really interesting because there are. This boss is huge in my opinion. It's pretty big. It's a slime and stuff like that, and you actually have probably, I'm not sure, but you actually have to beat a dragon. And that dragon is huge. I'm talking about, this is the real size compared to a human. You are tiny compared to a dragon and other enemies. So the scale is when it's a boss, you will know it. So. It's good stuff. Of course, you can team up with people, and I don't know how you do it yourself. I figured out how to write messages, and those messages can be rated, of course. So if you see a message you think is really good, you can click select, tell I want to rate this message, and then rate it. Um, um, you can of course also write messages, but I haven't figured out because after you beat the first thing, and it's all just this is just the beginning of the game. I haven't really experienced it all, so if you think I'm spoiling something, trust me, I'm not. So after you finish all that good stuff, you get into the next part and you figure out what the plot is of the game and all that and what you need to do. And the next thing I figured out, actually, some places people left normal messages on the ground will be red. Some of them are bright blue and shiny. Those messages are actually people that you can summon into your world to help you out. But be wary of this. I know you can actually, if you do this, I know the person that comes in can actually steal your life if you're alive. He can actually kill you and retake his and regain his life back. So that's how the PvP works. From what I've heard, I haven't experienced this because I don't wanna get killed because getting your life back is a pain. Of course, there are items you can use to regain your life. I found a stone that did that, but they're pretty rare. And I don't know if you can buy them. You probably can't buy them. Probably cost a bunch of souls. And of course, upgrading your weapons and upgrading your armor, of course, is not easy. Also, because of course you have the souls, but you actually have to find shards so you can upgrade them. But it's a great game. It looks awesome. It plays awesome. I have seen no lag at all, and from what I know, the servers are probably in America and Asia. There are no servers in Europe yet, but if you got a OK line, landline or IPS, you can easy pick this up. I still recommend if you can get your hands on the Asian version. I can't imagine how hard the first one, the US one is. This one here is pretty much enough for me. The only bad thing about it is that the manual is in. I've already told you this, but I'm gonna repeat this. But the manual is totally in Chinese. You can't read a thing about it. There's no English manual with it, and yeah, that sucks. So you have to rely on the in-game tutorials and all the things that you learn there to figure out stuff, which is pretty difficult because it's really minimal what it actually tells you. The tutorial is pretty much like messages left for you, where, like for instance, tells you R1 to slash. And that's the message. You go do that and then to the next one. So, pretty lame. Well, this is not the only thing that I've played. Of course, this is Friday, so the PlayStation Network has been updated, and a lot of good things have come out. I can actually tell you that that there are some great Christmas deals for games in Europe and US. Go check them out on the PSN store. And I can, of course, tell you that the Peace Walker demo came finally out in English, which I played, and the game is awesome. It plays really well on the PSP Go and the PSP. It's 103 megs, easy download, and there's 5 missions. A tutorial, 3 other missions, and a boss battle. And the only thing that annoyed me about the demo is that it's from the start the view is inverted left and right. So if you left, it moves right, and you move right, it moves left. It's annoying. I'm not used to that. I want the straight thing, but easy. You can switch it over in the option, and you probably figure out how does this play. What I've heard from my brother, I haven't played the other portable ops. It plays like that. Analog stick is to move around the character. Um, Up is action button. Left on the D-pad. The up D-pad is of course the action, but left D-pad is your inventory for your items. It comes out and you can use square and circle to go left and right in the menu, in the item menu. Right D-pad is weapons. Again, square and circle are left and right in that menu. Down on D-pad is crouch. If you press that one and press it again to rise up and hold it down, you will lay on your belly. The only thing difference, if you, for instance, played normal Metal Gears, when you're crouched, you can or lie on your belly, you can actually move forward. You cannot move, and the tutorial is really great. The CQC combat system you will get taught a lot of things that easily to figure out and do, and will probably and is really helpful in the game. So the tutorial, I really thumbs up to the tutorial how to play the game. Really detailed and stuff like that. Anyways, right bumper is attack. Left bumper is zoom for weapon, and then of course when you zoom in, square, triangle, circle, X, up, down, left, right. So actually the whole squares and all that of course are actually the other analog stick. And what I told you before is that the inverted thing is that square would move right and circle will move left. Some people like that. I'm not a big fan of that, but you can luckily change that in the options. So I recommend you download it if you got a PSP. Check it out. It comes out next year. I think, what's the official date? Is it March? Is it March 10th? Oh god, why can't I remember that? Let me check up. Releases. I'm just going to vgreleases.com and let's see here. Peace Walker. If I can type. Walker. Peace Walker. Yeah, sorry, it is March, but let's see here. March 17th. It says it's in March, somewhere in March, mid March, I think. I think March 10 was actually official, but it says March 25. Or it says May in US and March 28 for I don't know. It's March probably, March or May. I'm not 100% sure on this website here. Anyways, but that's one of the demos that I checked out. There's another demo out, which is of course Army of Two, 40 Days, or whatever the undertitle is, and that is a co-op demo, of course, because the game is pretty much based on co-op. But it is a split screen co-op, online co-op, and I think online multiplayer co-op, so you actually play against other people. And the co-op, of course, is pretty much the same as... I think it's the same. I haven't played the first one. I haven't played this one here, the demo, because I already booted up. Because my brother didn't have time, so... and I don't have anybody to play online with. Anyways, what I've heard of the co-op is pretty much the same as the first one, with all the glitches and things fixed, and you have a lot of customizations. I heard you can, from other podcasts, for instance, I know was a Wombat who was in Montreal actually too, for a whole weekend or a couple of days out there, invited from the, what was it, the guys that made the game, and he got to experience it. And you can actually, the customization for the mask are pretty high. You can go in on your PC and do your mask totally, and through that it gets uploaded to a website. Then you can download it on your PS3, for instance, or Xbox 360. And from the multiplayer perspective, is like I think it's 2-on-2. So you team up with a buddy, and you play against another team with a buddy of his. And of course, if it's you can, I think it's 4 teams in total, so it's 8 player, and you can do like free for all, and you can do and other stuff like that. I only heard of it, so it's stuff like, for instance, you need to protect an area, or you need to steal something, or something like that. I'm not sure how it works because I haven't experienced, but this is what I heard. So, and I've heard, and I know Wombat from Cheap Ass Gamer was really, he liked it. It's a good game. And I know Cheapy D was he liked the first one too, but sadly it actually was pretty poor reception from the communities and gamers all around the world, so it didn't do well. But funny thing that is that they that they actually got permission to make a sequel. Anyways, looks great from a graphical view. Sounds fun. Co-op is really in right now. It comes out next year. So if you got the time and got a buddy on a split screen, check it out. It's out at least on PSN. I think it's. I'm not 100% sure if it's out on Xbox. If it is, check it out there too. And a special thing that I got to try today, I actually got today in the mail beta code for Mod Nation Razors, which is, well, some people call the Little Big Planet with wheels. I don't know what to say about it. About that, but well, you can think like that, but it's a razor with a lot of customizations, and it's again the concept create, play, share, or from Sony, and I downloaded it, and it's invite only. And if you are a core subscriber on PSN, you can. I don't know what the date is, but you will get a code if you've been a subscription member for at least a couple of months of things. Anyways, I tried out. I booted it up, and it's funny. It's fun. The whole concept is done like you are in an open world, or a small open. It's well, you can't call it open world. It's an area. Let's say it's an area split up in races and customization, pretty much. And there are small vendors around things, or shops you can go around to. And the whole intro to it, the story is that the Mod Nation racing has been around for a long time and stuff like that. And it's been a big thing around it. And it's pretty much done like you see 2 commentators, of course, in the characters that you can customize. So it's like Little Big Planet sack boys all around the world. So everybody has a sack boy, and if somebody's commentating, you see them on a TV in some kind of way, or Mod Nation TV, Mod Nation Razors TV. It is a sack boy character you see talking. But it's not a sack boy, but you know what I mean. It's a Mod Nation Raider character. So there are 2 characters, pretty funny. It's done a little bit like Burnout Paradise. You hear a commentator constantly when you start up a race and stuff like that. The sad thing about it is the career mode is not available on the beta, and only thing is, of course, quick races and online races. And online races are, of course, just you can do different kinds of online races. You can do XP online races, and in the whole area you don't run around, you drive around. It's like you're sitting always in a car, just like Sackboy, of course, always has his legs. And you have, of course, your customization shop where you can customize your character, you can customize your vehicle, and if you have an iToy or iCamera or whatever it's called from PlayStation, you can, of course, I think you can scan in stickers and stuff like that and use pictures and anything. And it is really a little big play. You can go nuts with this. And of course, other people can rate your character, you can rate your vehicle, and you get up. I think the fur one, number 1, 2, and 3 are set up at a podium. You can see the hottest cars, you can see the best characters, and you can see the guys who earned most XP in XP races. And you can share your things, you can do tracks, you can do a lot of things. It is all what Little Big Planet is, just with racing implemented. So yeah, it is Little Big Planet with racing, but still, I think it has a different twist to it because the career mode is actually pretty intriguing to me. It sounded like fun. All cars, no matter how you customize them, are always the same. I customized my car and saved it, called it the Chain. Did a little fiddling around with it, not much, but you can spend a lot of time with it. And you need to, I think through the career you unlock a lot of stuff like new wheels for your car, new engines and stuff like that. And it's only sound. The engine is not if you get a bigger engine, you get more power. At least I don't think so, because that would be dumb. So it's all about appearances, and I'm pretty excited for it. I think it's coming out next year. I don't know if this demo will go out to the public. They're probably giving out some codes, maybe. I haven't seen it, at least not from the PS3 blog, not in the US or Europe. So it's pretty much closed right now. The match thing is done like Halo, where you, for instance, you want to join an XP race, you get in, and there's at least 4 characters. You need 4 characters that you need to join before the game starts, and it just keeps searching until people join and all that good stuff. So it's pretty easy, and that's pretty much it. What I've played so far. It's definitely interesting. Let's see here. What else is there? Let's talk a little bit news. As you know, Final Fantasy 13 came out yesterday, and people, of course, and me too, have been wondering what is the sales number for it. And the sales numbers for 24 hours are over 1 million copies. Between 1 million and 1.1 copies have been sold, and that's a lot. I'm looking at the Play Asia right now, and it's sold out. And the number is they are with this one between 1 million and 1.1 million copies. It includes the Lightning bundle, so they're gathering the numbers totally, including Lightning bundles and other bundles that have been sold with the normal game selling. And that's a lot of money. 1 million copies times 60 is 60 million. $60 million, that's, somebody's got to be happy. Somebody's probably opening a bottle of champagne and dancing naked and stuff like that. At least I would. So, definitely a big success. It's all around. I've seen game trailers has already put up a high definition of the intro of the game in Japanese, of course. And I will not recommend you go see it. I will definitely tell people to wait for the next year release, so you can enjoy it yourself and not spoil a lot of things. What else is there? Of course, I've been checking out IGN's site, for instance. Red Dead Redemption, which is the new Rockstar new Rockstar game. That is, I don't think it is PS3 exclusive. I think it's timed exclusive, so it's gonna come out on PS3 first, then afterwards Xbox 360. I'm not sure about that. Anyways, that came out with a new trailer where you actually see a lot of gameplay, and it looks like, well, it plays like Grand Theft Auto. You have the down at the corner lower lower left corner, you got your HUD with the um, with health bar. You got your map view, and it's just Western, but it looks really good. It's really interesting in taking that turn instead of having a modern world with cars and all that stuff. So I'm pretty interested in that. I'm excited about it. It looks great. So that's gonna be fun. And check that out. I'm gonna of course post some links with this. And of course, if you're on IGN and you don't want to look at, for instance, the VGAs, which I talked about yesterday, the last podcast, you gotta of course check out the IGN awards for best action game, fighting game, music, platform, puzzle, racing, role playing game, sports, and of course it has visual effects award, excellent in sound, best story, multiplayer game, and PSP and game of the year. And actually, what they have done, um, I like this a lot better. They set it up like for all this for each console, so you get Xbox 360, PS3, Wii, PC, DS, and PSP and iPhone, and all that good stuff. So I'm definitely plugging that, and I'll post links, and let's look a little bit because I don't have a lot of Xbox today. So let's check out some of the nice stuff that they actually chose from it, and of course, best action game is of course Assassin's Creed, fighting game Street Fighter 4. Not that. And the funny thing is, they chose DJ Hero for the best game, music game. I've heard good things about DJ Hero, but it's too expensive. It's not worth the $120. To say $80 is pretty much the maximum price you can perform for that. Splosion Man is the platformer game they chose. Never heard of that. Racing game is Forza Motors 3. No, really. No really surprise in that. Of course, best role playing game is Dragon Age Origins. Best shooters, of course, Modern Warfare 2. And Halo Wars, of course, best strategy game. Awards of visual excellency. I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's Modern Warfare. And this is funny. They chose Modern Warfare on the 360, and I don't think Modern Warfare looks that great compared to other games that are out there. I'm definitely thinking Batman looks greater, but the PS3, it's all those things are, of course, Uncharted 2. Anyways, best story, of course, Batman Arkham Asylum for the Xbox 360, multiplayer, Modern Warfare 2. Indie games, I made a game with zombies. Haven't played that. Rock Band 2, aftermarket support. And of course that's true because a bunch of songs to be able to buy after the Rock Band 2 came out. Best downloadable add-on, Ballad of Gay Tony. I still recommend going with Lost and Damned, and, well, I don't know why. Xbox Live arcade game, Shadow Complex. Played that, awesome game. Definitely Metroid with a graphical boost. If you want your Metroid fix before, and you don't want to wait for next year for Other M to come out, and you want some 2D action, pick this up. It's worth all the money, and it's at least 4 hours. Under 4 to 6 hours the first try. And the game of the year for Xbox 360, Assassin's Creed 2. Let's talk a little bit about more news about Assassin's Creed. And right now we're on the topic. Next year, they announced that there are coming 2 downloadable contents, single player, of course, because it is only single player. One in January, one in February, and it's gonna take. I know one of the things is called going to take place in Flory, where you and this spoiler people. So if you haven't played this part of the game, don't listen to this. At the part where you're in Flory, you meet to get off the boat or get to the next city, Venice. You meet a a girl or woman that is stranded on an island, or a small area, a small lump of earth in the middle of water. Like, it's not an island. It's just some flooding that happened. She gets stranded there. I don't know what, but anyways, you go out and save her, and that character is a countess, or something, a baroness or something of the city. That's one of the downloadable contents. The part of you meeting her and the story behind it, totally, because you only meet her like 5 seconds, and then that's pretty much it. The other one is, I think, oh, I can't remember, but I'm gonna post a link to the video of one of the developers who actually talks about this. It's looking interesting. There has been no talk of price, what I've remembered. I hope it's $10 max, hopefully a little bit lower. I hope it's 4 hours each, maybe more, hopefully 8. With a lot of extra content on it. I think it's probably gonna be 4 hours, but let's hope that a lot of some side missions, a little bit of trophies or achievements, and getting deeper into the story. Um, definitely excited for this. So that's pretty much that for a lovely Assassin's Creed. Let's see here. What actually do we have here? Of course, Splinter Cell Conviction. There's been some previews of that, of multiplayer previews, and I've played the first Splinter Cell games, the first and the second one, and this one here looks really interesting. It's got a really nice vibe to it. It's got a little bit of Grand Theft Auto style in it, with all the you play through the game, the whole start of the whole trailer to it, where all the things, all the cinematic credits are put into the game, instead of just be rolling or coming out, or you switching over or transitioning over to a black screen with a name on it. And it looks great, and I know Kotaku has some pictures up on the multiplayer, and talks a bit about it. It looks interesting. It's a lot. It's like I think you can do one-on-one and stuff like that, but I haven't really seen anything about it. I'm not gonna read through it. I think you should yourself experience it. I'm gonna put this, of course, one of the many links I'm gonna post with it, with this podcast. And of course, I want to talk about the special edition, which of course is of Splinter Cell Conviction. You get, of course, a nice statue. You get a steel box, and is there? So let's see. Yeah, special playable skin. There's gonna be probably a code or something. You can download a shadow armor, and early access to free weapons. And the official soundtrack, which is going to be more than 17 tracks, and well, it looks great. Maybe I'm going to pick that up, and you're probably going to see an unboxing if I pick that up, but let's see what the price is first, because I'm not going to pick it up, of course, if it's going to be overrated. And of course, there's been some when we are on the subject of new release and stuff like that, and what's on Kotaku, I can see here, for instance, that between all the Final Fantasy stuff that's coming up, because Final Fantasy is the big thing here right now, there's been some additional scenes on the alternative edition of Resident Evil 5, which, of course, for the PS3 version, I know there's gonna be the add-on for the gym, or the wand, or whatever it's called. I'm gonna post a link to that. And let's see here. Of course, yeah, there's the Final Fantasy 14, which of course is Final Fantasy Online 2, or whatever you will call it. And there's a lot of rumors that a lot of people talk about it, that it will try to be the real competitor for WoW, and well, that's a huge chunk to swallow if you want to take on WoW or World of Warcraft, which is the real name of it. For people who don't know what WoW is, and well, I can say that I'm surprised that everybody is saying when it comes out with a new MMO, and it is a massive multiplayer online game, they say you want to take on, they're gonna be the next WoW and all that. And I don't know. I stopped playing MMOs pretty much. The last one I played was it was WoW actually. I can't remember. I tried some. I was in betas of some new ones, but never interested me. Oh, I know what the last beta was. And it was of course Warhammer, Age of Reckoning. So interesting stuff. Oh, I just seeing here that if for the Modern Warfare 2 freaks out there, if you really wanna dress up for, I don't know, Halloween, no, next Halloween maybe, or coming Christmas or New Year's Eve party, you can dress up as Soap, John Soap, Travish, or whatever it's called. Uh, you can buy, if you have like $1,200, you can pick up all the gear for it. I'm telling you, that's an insane price. I know it's probably replica everything from every hair on it, but hell no, $1,200, that's insane. Do not buy that. That's waste of money. Oh, I just I just updated the Kotaku site for fun while I was looking at all the other stuff we were talking about, and I can see here they put up 2010, the year of better PC games, and of course they put up a screenshot of StarCraft 2, World of Warcraft, Cataclysm. I don't know about that. The All Points Bulletin, APB. Yeah, I've heard of that game, but I haven't seen much of it actually. It's pretty good, much gone down. It's coming out next year, so let's see if that's gonna be anything fun. And what do we have here? Command and Conquer 4. Oh God, how many Command and Conquer games can they make? Star Wars Old Republic. That's the next massive multiplayer online game, which I'm gonna get hooked on. And of course, let's see what we have next. These pictures, of course, DC Universe Online. I may try that, and that's of course not only for PC. That's of course for PS3 also. Natural Selection 2. Never heard of that game. Death Prank. Global Agenda. These are some funny games. Kingdom on the Fire 2. I know that game. This is looking pretty good, but I don't know. Never played the first one actually. Metro 2033. That's some. Looks a bit like Fallout from the use of here, just underground. Silent Hunter 5. Oh God, I remember Silent Hunter. I played the first one on what was it? Commodore 64? Or was it Amiga? I can't remember. Stalker is gonna get an update. Call of Pripyat. I can't pronounce that. I haven't been a big Stalker fan. Star Trek Online, of course, everybody knows that's coming out. All the people out there, all the Trekkie fans are going nuts about that. People are saying, of course, that's gonna be awesome. Tiger Woods PGA Tour Online, yeah. We all know Tiger Woods not doing so well right now, so I'm gonna skip that. Of course, Alan Wake, which I saw E3 looks at it, and looks interesting with the light and all that stuff. But is it gonna be the next thing? It's from the makers, of course, of Max Payne. So that's we all know Max Payne, the first and second one was awesome, and I want to get a plug out too. You can actually download those two Max Payne 1 and 2 from Xbox Live Arcade games or Xbox Game of the Man, I think it's called, or Arcade. It's on there somewhere in the game marketplace. It's not too expensive, but great games. And of course, let's see here. What else do we have of this? Mass Effect 2, which of course coming early next year. People are freaking out about that. Never played the first one. That's of course also available for download on the Xbox 360. If you don't have that, you can. If you don't want to go out wherever you live in the snow or drive like 5 hours to a store and have to wait in line because of everybody is trying to get their hands on last Christmas gifts, you can download it from there. Battlefield Bad Company 2. I played the first one, the demo, and it was where they implemented this destructible buildings and everything. You can blow holes and stuff like that. And I gotta say, I wasn't really impressed with it. I like Battlefield, but Bad Company I never hooked on this. Oh, I forgot I think actually yesterday Dark World came out. Actually, Dark World is coming out next year, and it's January 15th in Europe. I think it's January 13 or 12 in US. And that's, of course, a game rumored to maybe being able to do a movie of, where somebody is thinking Brad Pitt might be a good actor for the role, but I don't know. I think that's a prank. I definitely don't hope Brad Pitt's gonna be that, but who knows? I think it's stupid to already be talking about a movie before the game comes out and even seeing if it's gonna be a hit. It looks great. It's a third-person view game with a Rocketeer style. That's pretty much the description I will give it. Dead Rising 2, of course, coming next year. Dead Space 2, which I'm looking really forward to. Lost Planet 2, and that game looks interesting too. 4-player co-op, and well, you can check out the rest. I think that's pretty much it for this podcast, and well, I'll see you next time. Thank you for listening. And just some last minute plugs. If you want to check out my blog, I haven't been updating a lot lately. Sorry about that, but www.fettouhi.dk. That's fettouhi.dk. If you want to email me, you can email me at let'stalkgames@fettouhi.dk, or just PM me on the Speed Gamers forums, or just go to my blog, email me your comment on some of the stuff on there. Until then, see ya.